Want to make a quick video to explain progression throughout the program to you guys because I think this should really make this a lot more simple than having to read everything that I wrote. So just to give you a quick reminder, this program lasts for 9 weeks and there are 3 blocks. Each block consists of 3 workouts and each block is 3 weeks long. So basically you'll be repeating the same workout week 1, week 2, week 3. You have 3 chances to basically get better each time that you repeat it. So generally week 1, you're fairly new to something, you're trying to figure it out. You might not be that efficient at it yet. So I wouldn't expect that your loads would be, a true, representation of your max, just due to your technical limitations or, you're just getting used to it. So then week 2 and week 3, I would really expect a notable improvement in terms of your capabilities from week 1. But how can you actually structure this in a way that makes sense? So let me show you here. Let's go look at the forward stepping lunge. We look at this, we have 2 sets of 8 to 12 reps per leg, and we're ending at RPE 7, meaning that we have 3 good repetitions left in the tank by the time we're done our set. So let's say you pick 30 pounds to start with that, and you're not quite that familiar with that exercise, and you really want to make sure that you're coming up fast, because I put that in the notes. So you decide to aim for 8 repetitions, and you do that, and by the time you hit 8, you're noticing that your form is starting to break down, you're a little bit wobbly. Cool, makes a lot of sense. You had 3 reps left in the tank. And you do that for your 2 sets, you do that for both legs. Good job. Week 2, I would expect you to aim for something like maybe 10 repetitions there. You could try for the 8 again, but I bet you that if you aimed for 8, it would be a lot easier than it was the first week. So you do your 10 repetitions this time. Great. Feels like RPE 7 again. Your form is a little bit better too. Wonderful. Good job. You've gotten better. Week 3, the final time you'll run this through in that block, you aim for the 12 repetitions. Good job. Great. You got all that. You end at RPE 7. Form was better. You're coming up faster. You nailed it. Good job. So what would you do if the first weight that you picked, you did all 12 repetitions and it wasn't even hard by the end? You obviously undershot your RPE, meaning that it was not really hard enough to elicit a response. So that wasn't really a set that counts. Conversely, what would you do if you only got, let's say, 5 repetitions? Well, you obviously picked a weight that was way too heavy for you, and you need to scale that down in order to fit your rep range and match your intensity correctly. Giving you another example here, let's look at the trap bar deadlift with a speed focus. You have 6 sets of 5 repetitions, ending between RPE 7 and 8. Meaning that your RPE is probably going to scale upwards as the set goes on, which makes sense. You get more tired the more of these that you do. So let's say for all 5 repetitions that you're doing, you hit, 225 in the trap bar, and you feel like you have, between 2 and 3 good repetitions left at that nice fast pace. Next week, I'd probably expect you to put on a little bit of load on that instead, because there's no, rep range here. It's just 5 repetitions. So instead of 225, you might add, let's say, 10 more pounds onto it. So now it's 235. And great, you banged out all 5 repetitions nice and fast. But again, let's say the first week you're just trying to get used to it. You weren't that familiar with it. 225 is hard for you. But by week 2, you're exponentially better at it. And, 235 isn't even difficult anymore. Great. Well, you got better at things. Again, you just find a weight where those 5 repetitions is going to be challenging enough that you end up at RP 7 or 8 by the end of your set. So each week, I would expect a increase in either repetitions, in load, or a decrease in the perceived exertion of the exercise. Now remember, you still need to fall within the rep range, and if there is one, and you still need to fall within the intensity range. So if you are not hitting either of those 2 things, you either need to adjust down or adjust up based on how you feel or how you're performing. So remember, with the RPE scale, this is perceived exertion. Your perceived exertion might be different day to day based on your training. And that is why I do believe that is a very good system to use for combat sport athletes, because your training is a little bit variable.